In a world overflowing with noise, opinions are cheap. Everyone speaks, few think, and fewer still question. You scroll, you listen, you absorb, but you don't examine. Most people live in reaction. They hear something and repeat it. They feel something and assume it's truth. The result? A society that moves fast and thinks slow. One that confuses emotion for fact, volume for value, and confidence for clarity. Socrates saw this long before the modern world. He lived in Athens, a place full of poets, politicians, and philosophers. Everyone claimed to know. Everyone claimed to understand. But Socrates was different. He didn't lecture. He didn't claim wisdom. He asked questions and watched the illusion collapse. Because behind most certainty is confusion pretending to be knowledge. The Socratic method is not passive. It's not polite. It's not about debate for fun. It's a weapon designed to expose the foundation of thought. It begins with a question. What do you mean by that? Then, why do you believe it? And again, what's your evidence? Each answer becomes the next target. Each layer is stripped until what's left is either solid or broken. This is called elenchus, the art of refutation. Socrates used it not to dominate others, but to purify thought. If your idea can't survive questioning, it was never real. If your belief falls apart under pressure, it was never yours. The Socratic method isn't about appearing clever. It's about being honest, brutally honest, about what you think you know. Why does this matter today? Because clarity is power. Not the power to control others, the power to control yourself. When you don't think clearly, you become reactive. You fall into emotional spirals. You believe lies because they sound good. You obey ideas because they feel familiar. But when you gain clarity, you gain command. Mental clarity means your decisions are clean. Your words are precise. Your mind is calm in chaos. You don't jump to conclusions. You don't collapse under pressure. You ask, is that true? Before you obey it. You ask, is that real? Before you react to it. Most people don't do this. Most people are mental slaves, ruled by emotion, trapped by belief. You break that cycle through questioning. Socrates didn't fear being wrong. He feared being unexamined. He walked through Athens, asking powerful men simple questions. What is justice? What is virtue? What is love? And one by one, they broke down. Not because they were stupid, but because they were never challenged. Their confidence was hollow. Their logic was weak. Their beliefs were built on sand. The city turned on him. They accused him of corrupting the youth, of disrespecting the gods. But what really happened is this. He forced people to think, and people hate that. People fear that, because when illusion is shattered, you have to confront what's real, and what's real is rarely comfortable. You don't need to use the method on others. The real power is using it on yourself. You take an idea you believe, and you interrogate it, not casually, ruthlessly. What do I believe about success, about love, about myself? Where did these ideas come from? Are they true, or are they convenient? Self-questioning is rare, because it's painful. It forces you to admit uncertainty. It demands that you kill old beliefs. But this is the price of mental freedom. Most people never pay it. They stay in chains, built from their own assumptions. But not you. You pick up the blade. You cut away the lies. You become dangerous. You can use the Socratic method anywhere. In arguments, in business, in decision-making, in self-reflection. Here's how. When someone makes a claim, ask for definitions. Ask for logic. Ask what would make their claim false. Don't attack. Just reveal. People trap themselves with their own words. All you have to do is watch them walk into it. Now turn that inward. You feel fear. Ask, what am I afraid of? Why does it matter? Is that fear based on truth or projection? You feel anger. Ask, what belief is being violated? Where did that belief come from? Does it still serve me? Every emotion is tied to a belief, and every belief is vulnerable to clarity. The Socratic method makes your internal world navigable, understandable, controllable. And that's where real strength begins, not in domination of others, but in domination of self. Socrates once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." At first, it sounds weak, but it's the opposite. Admitting ignorance is the foundation of true strength, because now you can build. Now you can learn. The man who admits he doesn't know is the only one capable of real knowledge. Everyone else is guessing, pretending, or repeating. This is why Socrates never gave final answers. He gave questions, because the goal is not to replace one belief with another. The goal is to build a mind that can interrogate any belief and survive. The Socratic mind is anti-fragile. It gets stronger under pressure, clearer in chaos, smarter through humility. When you think clearly, you become immune to lies. You see through emotional appeals. You hear propaganda and feel nothing. You recognize fallacies. You spot manipulation instantly. And most importantly, you no longer manipulate yourself. You don't chase approval without reason. You don't fear judgment without analysis. You don't obey emotional impulses just because they're loud. You live by principles, not moods. And you choose what enters your mind instead of letting the world decide for you. This is clarity, and this is why it's power. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's unstoppable. Socrates never wrote a book. He didn't leave behind a doctrine. He left behind a method. And now that method is in your hands. Use it like a sword. Use it like a mirror. Question the world and question yourself. Not to destroy, but to refine. Ask, what do I mean by that? Why do I think that's true? What belief is behind this reaction? And is that belief still serving me? When you can do this, under pressure, in conflict, in silence, you will be free, you will be dangerous, and you will never be ruled by confusion again. Socrates was not a king. He was not rich. He was not famous in his time. He was a man who walked into the chaos of the mind and lit a fire of clarity. You can do the same. Walk like Socrates. Think like Socrates. Speak only when your words have been examined. Act only when your thoughts are clear. And never accept anything, not from others, not from yourself, without first cutting it open. Because in the end, this is the secret. Power isn't found in knowing everything. It's found in questioning everything. And the one who questions is the one who rules.